Stop scrolling for a second, because there is a very real chance you have already met a woman who was interested in you, and you still walked away thinking she was not. That is how most men miss it. Not because they are blind, not because they are clueless, but because women do not usually hand attraction to you in a neat little package with a bow on top. They reveal it in pieces, quiet pieces, subtle pieces. And if you do not know what to look for, you will talk yourself out of the whole thing. So in this video, I want to show you 8 signs that she is more drawn to you than she is letting on. And pay attention, because some of these are so common that women do them without even realizing it. Men do it too, by the way, just in a different way. The difference is that men often move straight toward what they want, while women tend to circle it first. They test the room. They feel the energy. They wait to see how you carry yourself. That does not mean she is playing games. It means attraction often shows up as behavior before it ever becomes words. So let us start with the first one. The first sign is eye contact that lasts a little too long. Not a stare, not a dramatic movie scene. Just that small extra second where her eyes stay on you before she looks away. You are in a store, at a gathering, walking past each other, and for a moment the two of you lock in. Then she breaks it, but not like she is avoiding you, more like she has been caught noticing you. That matters. People do not usually hold eye contact with someone they feel nothing for. They glance, they move on, but when attraction is there, the eyes linger. Then later she looks back again. That second look is often the real clue. It is her checking whether you noticed her noticing you. The second sign is she keeps finding herself near you. Maybe she moves into your space without any obvious reason. Maybe she chooses the seat beside you when she had other options. Maybe she ends up in your orbit more than once in the same evening. That is not always random. Women do not always chase in a loud way. Sometimes they create closeness instead. They put themselves where a conversation can happen, where a moment can happen, where you can respond. A man who is unaware will call it coincidence. A man who is paying attention will realize she is giving the interaction a chance to breathe. The third sign is she becomes more alive when you speak. Watch the room for this one. People can pretend to listen, but body language gives them away. If she turns toward you when you talk, if her eyes stay on your face, if her responses come quickly and naturally, that is not empty politeness. That is interest with attention behind it. Sometimes it is even more obvious than that. The whole energy around her changes. She gets a little brighter. She asks one more question than she needs to. She does not want the conversation to end too quickly. That is a good sign. Because when a woman is not interested, she usually keeps it brief. She gives you the polite version. When she is interested, she gives you room. The fourth sign is she copies your rhythm. This one is subtle, but it is powerful. You lean back, and a moment later she leans back. You slow down your speech, and she starts matching your pace. You cross your arms. She does the same. You smile, and her face softens too. That is not always conscious. People naturally mirror the people they feel connected to. It is one of the clearest signs that the interaction is landing well. And with attraction, mirroring often becomes more noticeable because she is tuned in to you. This is one reason some men feel like a woman is into them before anything has even been said. Their bodies are already having a conversation. The fifth sign is her compliments stop being surface level. A woman can say you look good and mean it, sure. But pay attention when the compliment goes deeper than appearance. Maybe she says you have a calming presence. Maybe she says she likes talking to you. Maybe she says you feel different from other men. Maybe she tells you she feels comfortable around you. That is not a small thing. Looks can be noticed in seconds. But comfort, ease, and trust are different. Those are emotional signals. Those are the things women remember when they are trying to decide whether they actually want to keep you close. A man may think he is getting just a nice comment. In reality, she may be telling you that your energy feels safe enough for her to open up. The sixth sign is she keeps checking on you with her eyes. You catch her looking. She looks away. A few minutes later, she looks again. Then again. Not in a creepy way. Not in a bold way. Just enough for you to notice if you are paying attention. That repeated glance is not nothing. People scan what matters to them. If she keeps checking your position in the room, keeps finding your face again, keeps returning her focus to you after other distractions, she's probably more invested than she wants to show. Women do this a lot when they are interested, but still deciding how safe it feels to show it. Men do something similar when they are curious, but women often do it with more restraint. The seventh sign is other men respond to you differently. This one is huge because women notice how men treat each other. They notice who gets respected, who gets challenged, who gets ignored, who gets listened to. If other men are naturally giving you space, asking for your opinion, or even showing mild competition when you enter a room, that tells you something about the energy you carry. And women pick up on that fast. They see whether you are the kind of man people follow easily or the kind people feel they need to measure themselves against. Either way, it makes an impression. A woman may not say he seems high value, but she will feel it when the room treats you like you matter. The eighth sign is she creates reasons to stay connected. This one is easy to miss because it does not always look romantic at all. She asks a follow-up question. She remembers something small you said. She brings up an old detail later. She sends a message that does not really need to be sent. She finds a reason to continue the thread. That is not filler, that is maintenance. People do not maintain what they do not care about. If she is making space for the conversation to continue, if she is giving you openings to reply, if she is keeping the line warm, she is not trying to disappear on you. She is trying to stay in your world. Now, let me slow this down for a second, because this is where a lot of men get stuck. They think attraction has to be loud. They think a woman must say it clearly, directly, and immediately, or else it is not real. But that is not how it usually works. A woman may be drawn to you while still acting guarded. She may be interested while still pretending to be casual. She may want your attention while still waiting to see whether you are grounded enough to handle it. That is why confidence matters so much. Not the loud kind, not the fake kind, the quiet kind. The kind where you do not panic when she is subtle, the kind where you do not need instant proof, the kind where you can stay calm long enough to notice what is actually happening. Because once you stop chasing obvious signs, you start seeing the real ones. And when you see the real ones, everything changes. You stop doubting every interaction. You stop overthinking every pause. You stop assuming silence means rejection. You start recognizing when interest is already in the room. That is the shift. Not begging for clarity, not forcing meaning, just learning how to read the moment correctly. So here is the question I want you to sit with. How many times have you called a woman not interested when she was actually just being careful? Because for men and women both, attraction is often a slow reveal. It shows up in glances, timing, tone, and small repeated choices. The trick is not to look harder. The trick is to look smarter. And if you noticed even 2 or 3 of these signs before, then no, you are probably not imagining everything. You may be seeing the beginning of interest. You just needed the right lens. When you understand that, you stop guessing and you start moving with much more calm.